and welcome back to the channel. So I had to step over all of this stuff because I'm in the midst of recording these vocals, and these aren't going to be finished takes, but I just wanted to give you a quick progress report because it's been so long since I've made any videos where I'm actually recording anything. And hopefully everybody out there is having good luck with their Zooms and their projects, you know. So I hope that is going well, and if there's any way I can help you, let me know. You may not want my help after you hear this. So anyway, what's been going on is it's really hot. There's air conditioner that pops on, which makes it impossible to record, and somebody decided to come up here and unload the rest of their July 4th action on the parking lot. So it's like pow, 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 boom, 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 you know. All right, so what I decided to do, since these circumstances, I'm sweating like a pig, so forgive me if I look extra terrible. I decided, you know what, let's just get the feel for the tune. Like, this is a perfect night to not have to worry about a finished take. Just kind of like do a rough mix, rough track, what do they call it when we used to record, like the first night, scratch vocal. So let's say we're going to go record with somebody who's expensive or somebody major that we want to impress, like when we recorded with Steve Albini. We went and recorded, and the whole idea was let's just get a scratch vocal on every song, and I ended up singing like 12 songs or something right in a row, boom, 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 boom. And we used most of it, had to fix a few things, and even had to go back and fix some stuff because we heard it in the mix later, like, oh, that's flat, that's sharp, whatever. Usually I'm flat. All right, so don't listen for flat and sharps. I realize it sucks. This is just a work mix. But we'll just see what we have, and I'll show you some stuff you can work with. I put a double track on it so we can talk about that. But here was the process. All right, so I've got this Rain MS1B preamp, and it's just a simple neutral sounding preamp, but it has a really good phantom power side to it, and I use that to power my large diaphragm condenser mic, which I prefer for vocals. It just gets like a real overall, I mean, each mic has its own characteristics and own like frequency humps and bumps or whatever. This one has an upper mid kind of so you have to work around that, and I do that by going into, well, we'll get into that in a second, but I alter the effect to make this sound better. So I prefer this style of microphone for vocals, and I like it for snare drum. Anything we need like crisp articulation, it's okay on guitars, but I prefer the ribbons on those. It's more romantic because they're already like growling, and the ribbon just sort of makes it And I like the ribbons for overheads, but this is good for the snare. All right, and it's an AKG P220. It's like a $100 mic, maybe more now. I don't know. May not exist anymore. AKG P220. All right, so what I do is I plug into the first input. I make sure the high Z is off. I make sure that I'm at 100 on unity gain, and I press the record, you know, the red button to get it started. And then I'm going to go over to effects and make sure I'm in my favorite mic, and it's the first one, number 00, record compress, I guess is what it's saying. And if you go to the edit screen on that one, I've got my attack all the way down to 4. And my tone all the way down to 4, and it starts at 10. So I've dramatically rolled mine off. And I might add some EQ back in, some highs and whatnot, which is great because now I can do that as opposed to like subtracting -7 on the highs just to get it to sound somewhat normal. And once it goes wrong in the recording for me, you just have to do it over. And you can't really do it over successfully if you keep having that same trouble. So make sure you go into your effect and make sure you mess with that tone if you're getting kind of a sharp vocal. I kind of have an upper mid kind of, you know, honk. My voice is like upper mid kind of thing, and so if you get in that range and you start pushing, sometimes it can have a little abrasive quality to it. All right, so let me just build this mix really quickly without the vocals in it, and then we'll go to the vocal, concentrate on that. And once again, it's a scratch vocal, and the double track is probably off, but I wanted to show you how that kind of pops the chorus out by using the double track. All right, hold on one second here. Let's just see what happens. I didn't want to pull any cables. I'm going to take the 2 vocals out and just see what we have as far as the mix of the tune. Oh shoot, you know what? Let's go right to mastering. So we're going to go up to the algorithm of mastering, and I'm going to make sure the input screen says master. I'm gonna go, this will make everything sound better. And I've pulled my red knob down, by the way. Alright, so I'm gonna leave the crossovers at 50-50. The synth high I'm gonna bring up to 5. The mid 5, I'm down from 6 down to 5. The lows down to 5. The mix high, 5. The mix mid, 5. The mix low, the same. Okay, and then normalizer, the gain's going to go to 0. 3-band EQ, 5. Let's just stick with that theme. Actually, I got this from a forum way back in the day, the original Zoom forum. Somebody recommended these 5s, and I've been going with it ever since. You can always roll back, but if you start there, it seems to make the thing work. And the same thing with pan EQ. All right, so now let's see what we have on the playback. We're going to work our red knob up nice and easy. Okay, I've got the drums down and the guitars up. I'm going to bring the guitars down too, just so we can hear the vocal, because it's not a good vocal technically, or wouldn't be a keeper in any way. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's right now go to pan EQ on that first track. It sounds kind of breathy. All this will be fixed, of course. Let's put 5 on the highs, and on the mid, I'm going to push that to 5, and then I won't have to turn it up so much. The lows, I'm not going to put anything on the low. Let's see what happens now. I can already tell that sounds better. So you see how that difference, let's go back and just hear the beginning thing without the bump and the mids and the highs. So we're going to roll our high back to 0, back you go, and we're going to take our mid back to 0, back you go as well. And all right, here we go. Okay, without messing with the volume, I'm going to now go back to 5. I'm going to push that there. And I'm going to go up to high, and I'm going to push that back to 5. I may have turned it down, but let's just see what it sounds like now. Okay, let's work on that chorus real quick. We'll just listen to it without anything on. Can't say that it's going to sound great, but let's just see what happens if we add some of the same stuff we did. Oh, and that one's, I've got it on right 50. I need to put it in the center. Although that could be cool, but no, I probably would have that in the center. Sorry. Putting the pan on this one back to center. It's taking forever. Okay, now let's just hear it back without any boost. I would turn your brains down my tongue, write it down at the cartoon. Okay, so I'm going to take that back, add 5, mids 5. All right, let's just, I'm not going to mess with the volume by pushing the lever up, the gain up. I would turn your brains down my tongue, write it down at the cartoon. Okay, so you can tell it makes a difference. All right, so now let's go back and hear all this in the song again. Okay, here we go. So if you push it up too much, it sounds kind of dramatic. It's like all of a sudden, da 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 da. So I'm going to mess with that really quickly, the level. Okay, so let's try it all from the beginning now. Hopefully these guitars aren't just roaring too loud. Let me bring the snare up a tad just to get that cracking. Alright, here we go. Wonderful feedback for days. All right, so I'm digging the feel of that. It's like the main thing I'm worried about is not technical stuff right now, being able to sing it. I mean, I can tell that's off and wouldn't keep that in a million years, but I've been listening to a lot of the punk rock I used to listen to back in the day, and I love how they don't try so hard to like make everything perfect. Not that I'm doing that anyway. Trust me, I understand how perfect things have become. But you can get into your own minor obsessing on it within the little realm that you're in. And I just like the feel, like I like an exciting feel. Like I like songs that are short. I was talking to my wife, I was like, the first two verses of every song are always really good. It's usually the third verse that starts to suck. That's why so many people just repeat the first, because it's hard to get that third verse to be any good. There's examples, and I've got a few songs where I like the third verse I wrote, but I just like shorter songs, like 2 verses, get out, 2 minutes to 3 minutes, something like that. And just the excitement, like sometimes songs would be so good if they just weren't so long, like they just keep going and you're like, if this had ended already, it would have been the most amazing thing ever, but because it goes on and there's like 2 guitar solos or whatever, it misses something. So I always like that kind of immediacy, and that's one of these songs. It's like there's nothing to add to it, and if you even try to, just screw it up. Just let it be short and sweet, short and delicious, All right, so I've got a lot of work to do because I've got to sing this proper. That was just a test vocal, as we said, a scratch vocal. But I'm going to get up here this weekend. Today is Tuesday, so I'll probably be up here before then. But definitely this weekend, I'm going to do some grinding on just trying to get these 2 songs out of the way, so I can start the last 2, which I haven't written yet, but I'm hoping by the time I get these vocals done on these 2 songs, something will have popped and I can start on the next one, because I really only have 2 more songs. I'm totally done with this thing finally, after all this, time it took me to make it, and the recent setbacks I've had with death and all that kind of thing. But now I can see a clear path. So getting it done, I'm going to be making some videos. So if there's anything I can do to help, if you want me to make a video about something specific that you're struggling with on the Zoom, let me know, because a lot of times when I come up here I can't record the vocals because of bad conditions, but I can make videos real quick. Alright, so just let me know if there's anything you need. Reach out, don't hesitate, and I like to help. So, and hopefully people are functioning well with these machines, because the more time you put in with it, the easier it gets. The more, like what they call time in the saddle. And I've found that this thing, there's just a lot of stuff to unlock. Like that mastering mode, like if you don't know about that and you don't use that, you're like missing something big. And it's really not apparent right off the bat how many things are like that in the Zoom, that if you just know how to get to them, makes a huge improvement in your sound and your recording experience. All right, next time.